Odell Beckham Jr. once again in the news, and this time it is because, well, rather, it's funny, this show has become, well, here's what occurred yesterday, and here's the narrative being spun today. In case you missed it, here's what happened. I don't believe it when they sound, so we could just toss to it. Is Odell Beckham Jr. in a hotel room with an Instagram model in Paris. There appears to be a blunt in his left hand. There appears to be some white powdery substances right next to that horrible, god-awful pepperoni pizza where the pepperonis are humongi.
And the pizza's uneaten.
And the pizza's uneaten. I mean, you know, that sort of stuff.
The travesty. He's also wearing a cross like he's a real Christian.
Oh, you know what would have helped Odell Beckham if he were really smoking that blunt? You know what you get, munchies. He did the coke. That's why he didn't eat the munching pizza. All right, so here are the pictures. Odell Beckham Jr. apparently holding a blunt. Whatever, I don't care. There appears to be cocaine in the middle. Prove to me that he did it. But
I don't see it. But
here's the. I don't see it. Oh, can't you tell? All right. Here's what the New York Daily News wrote. And as Odell Beckham Jr. continues to be a giant distraction, the organization needs to consider trading their star receiver. Other media outlets went with Odell Beckham Jr. Not worth the trouble for the New York Giants. Pat Leonard, New York Daily News, going back to this, he wrote, the case for trading Odell is based on John Mara's and Dave Gettleman's shared idea of what the Giants should stand for. Come back to us for just 1 second. Do you remember a certain punter that played for the New York Giants where the owner already knew of his domestic violence case, yet kept him on the roster?
Oh yeah.
I do too. So what the hell are you talking about, Mr. Leonard? But hey,
well, that punter was
pull
worth
up my
the
paper.
trouble. He was no. Odell Beckham Jr. is no punter.
Did you see the 42 yards that he punted the ball?
Hey, flipping the field is a big deal.
It is. It is. However, not as much of a deal as when you're flipping the mindset of your wife because you're beating her. But hey, we know what John Mara and new GM Dave Gettleman stand for, right, Pat Leonard? The club president and his new GM are committed to restoring stability, and by extension, the image of stability, to a franchise that plummeted to unprecedented and embarrassing lows in a controversy-filled 2017. So he addresses it. They want to be back on the tabloid back pages. They want to be back there? In other words, for their victories in football and not for consistent off-field defeats. Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
So Beckham is 25, undoubtedly has damaged his market value at the worst possible time. Okay, showing him holding a thick brown cigarette. It's a cigar. Look, Pat Leonard, come on, man. Don't play like I did prep school. Like, come on, man. First off, you know what you call a cigarette if it's white and there's marijuana in it? It's called a joint. Idiots. The mere appearance of alleged and potential drug abuse use at the very least shows that Beckham continues to exercise poor judgment about the situations he enters. He was smoking a blunt, allegedly. The Giants president and co-owner has to recognize that as long as Beckham is a Giant, there will be plenty more days like, Mama told me there'd be days like this. When the Giants aren't the story, Beckham is. Often it will be for the wrong reasons. Beckham, when he was drafted in 2014, well, he was supported until, well, he went on the boat trip. Great Lambeau wall punch. Mara sat down with Beckham last fall about his canine urination touchdown celebration because Randy Moss didn't pretend to pull down his pants and become one of the best receivers for the Minnesota Vikings.
I don't know if you
last one. Yeah. As long as Beckham refuses to fall in line, this will remain the Odell Beckham show featuring Eli Manning and the Giants and not the other way around. This is a huge, put that up for 1 more second. This is a huge problem that I have because breaking news, Eli Manning's not the face of the Giants. It's Odell Beckham Jr. Sir?
So I don't know, there's a way people can, just that last part. This is all from Joe Leonard, right?
Pat Leonard.
Pat, sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe. I mean, sorry, Pat. I didn't mean to do that.
Scrapping on people left and right this morning, huh?
Okay, so this is one of those very illustrative moments when sports writers, sports talkers, people that are in the talking business side of sports try to have a way to control someone's career in life. So point out, oh, he's troubling his relations with Nike and the Giants.
I agree.
Said who? Did you talk to Nike? Did you talk to the Giants? Did the Giants say, you know what, we want to be back?
If he did, he would have said a source.
Yeah, I'll be back on the back pages of the tabloids and not on the front pages. You know, I'm tired of this being the Odell Beckham show and not the Eli Manning and the Giants show.
Okay. Are you living in 2009?
It's just, so this is an obvious, this whole thing was an obvious approach to his wanting to control what the narrative is. It's a big story because he's saying it's a big story. It's, oh, this white powder and this big brown cigar in his hand, a cigarette in his hand is a big deal because Leonard said it is. Not because everyone's outraged over this. You're outraged over it, and you're extrapolating that to mean that everyone's outraged over it. The Giants and Nike are so pissed about this. They're tired of seeing these shenanigans. They're on the verge of getting rid of it.
Right. I understand why a team would be upset with not the canine urine. I don't give a damn about.
Yeah, he would do all these other things that no one's talking about but him.
Right. What I think I would have a problem with is if he were like that punter that beat his wife.
Is there someone else that's affected by that?
There is. So you know what I don't have a problem with? Smoking marijuana and being a young, successful wide receiver where the lifespan in the NFL is 3.3 years. Enjoy your time, Odell Beckham. You never know what might happen on that one day where Josh Norman decides to hit you over the middle when you're not looking and spear you for getting back at you for what you did to him in Carolina. Total hypothetical. I'm not saying it's going to happen.
Yes.
My point is, as a young 23, 20-something-year-old successful face of your own franchise, enjoy it.
Yeah.
And do not pay attention to someone like Pat Leonard.
These sports media guys have to stop with the power trip of trying to control someone else's career. And Ben and I will say it for the 10th time, always get in this disagreement. There's a jealousy with some of these guys. They don't like the life and the freedom and happiness these guys live. Everybody that works in sports, at one point, from 5 to 10 years old, wanted to be an athlete, and they didn't have it. Maybe they figured out at 5.5 that they fall when they run, or they trip over their own feet when they do a slant pattern. But don't be mad at them because they made it. Just do your job and stop trying to ruin someone else's.
I agree completely. And the last time that the Giants were great, that's what they continue to focus on. Because the face of that team is still there, although decaying, it seems, at a rapid, elder growing age.